Okay, what's up guys, Game Fanatics, here on my second channel. This is just going to be my review on last night's WrestleMania 29. And it was horrible. The whole total package, in my opinion, was horrible. And people are saying that, well, in the past 10 years, WrestleMania 27 was bad. No, I think out of everybody that said WrestleMania 27 was bad, I think this one, WrestleMania 29, takes the cake. And here are my opinions why. I'm going to go through match by match, and then I'm going to go through the whole total package as a show. Whoever planned the show as a whole, it was horrible planning, in my opinion. The first match was Big Show, Sheamus, and Orton versus The Shield. I liked the match. The match was good, and the finish was good. You had Randy Orton trying to steal the spotlight. He stole the tag that Sheamus looked like he tried to tag in Big Show, but Orton tagged himself in, and Big Show just stood there and didn't do anything. And then when Randy Orton, after he hit the RKO, he got speared, and then Dean Ambrose pinned him. Big Show didn't help him, and then The Shield wanted him winning. I like that. I understand why that happened, because he stole the spotlight and lost for it. And then Big Show, weapons of mass destructions, both of them, to put Big Show back on the side of being a heel, which it seems that WWE didn't know what to do in the first place with the Big Show. So it didn't really seem like that face was gonna last very long. So he just went right back to being a heel. It was like he just went face or went anti-hero just to help put over the Shield. And then now they're gonna go back with the Big Show being heel. That's what that looked like to me. What happened? The match, I'm kind of forgetting the match order. The match after that, I believe, was the tag match. It was Daniel Bryan and Kane versus Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston. It was an okay match. I like the tease on how AJ kissed Dolph Ziggler at the beginning of the match, and then Daniel Bryan almost won, but he wasn't going to win in the first 5 seconds. I didn't see that happening. It was an okay match. I really didn't understand why they had Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston lose. Probably because Dolph Ziggler has the Money in the Bank contract anyway, and for Big E's Langston's first match, he really didn't do much. I mean, he's just like an ordinary powerhouse. He didn't do anything special. He didn't do anything unique. He didn't do anything amazing. And those first 2 matches on the card, they didn't feel like a WrestleMania match. Like, you know, the intensity and the importance. Oh, this match is important because it's at WrestleMania, and you feel it because the intensity in the match, all the wrestlers like have that intensity and that extra oomph. The first 2 matches didn't have that, and I really feel like that was a big miss. And that the match after that was fun. Don Go versus Chris Jericho. And the match could have been better. It was kind of sloppy because, well, I don't know if Fandango has been wrestling at house shows. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. But it was kind of sloppy, and it could have been better. But Jericho did a good job at putting over Fandango as the heel, and only 2 heels went over at this event, which was the Shield and Fandango. Those are the only 2 heels that won at WrestleMania. It was an okay match. It could have been a lot better, and that also didn't feel like a WrestleMania match. It just felt like, oh, okay, we have to let Fandango get his first match then, and why not do it on the biggest stage of them all? It'd be WrestleMania. And it was sloppy towards the end. You had that match. Then you had the Undertaker versus CM Punk match, which is hands down the best match on the card, and that actually felt I actually felt that I was at WrestleMania. Like, that was the first actual WrestleMania event. Like, I liked how CM Punk took the urn and hit him with it and tried to pet him for the win, tried to beat him with the urn. I liked the reversal tombstone into the GTS. That didn't work. I was like, that was the first time that night that it actually felt like a WrestleMania match. Like, and that was hands down the best match on the card. And I think I'm forgetting, before that, there was the P. Diddy performance, which was horrible. P. Diddy doesn't do well live. And another thing, P. Diddy isn't cheap. So one can only imagine how much thousands of dollars that Vince McMahon threw at P. Diddy. I didn't like that performance. Oh, and for those of you, because I know a lot of people that went to WrestleMania, for those of you that went, Jack Swagger got the jobber entrance, which was totally disrespectful. I guess he's getting paid back for the drug thing, but there shouldn't be jobber entrances at WrestleMania, especially for the World Heavyweight Championship. He came out in it looks like he had a special entrance. Like, he came out in an army's mini range thing, like an army exercise golf mobile with the American flag on the back. Like, I wanted to see that. And for those of you, we didn't see that, people watching at home. It got cut out. There was some package about promoting a new movie, and then Zepp Coulter was in the ring talking. And we were like, well, how did this Jeep thing get here? Like, I was like, whoa, like, that didn't sit well with me as WrestleMania. That really didn't sit well with me at all. The match was a subpar match though, and the ending, it could have did a little bit better at the ending. I mean, another thing, the unrealistic transaction happened during the match where it didn't sit well with me. Jack Swagger had the Patriot locked in. So how do you go from having the Patriot lock to the sit down version of the ankle lock to somehow Alberto Del Rio reversing that into the armbar? That's an unrealistic transaction. And then I know again that Jack Swagger reversed the armbar back into the Patriot gag, which is more realistic. But that first transaction when Jack Swagger had the Patriot locked in, and then he did the sit down Patriot lock, and then somehow Alberto Del Rio reversed it into the armbar, it didn't make sense. That was poor match booking. But I didn't really like the outcome of that match. Well, I knew Jack Swagger was gonna lose, but that match could have went better. Could have went better too, if you want to go there. That match could have been a lot better. Well, it didn't feel like a WrestleMania match, and plus, for a title, a heavyweight title, that didn't sit well with me either. Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, no holds barred. Because Triple H's ego is so big that he had to win. And it was an okay match. It didn't feel like a WrestleMania match either. They kept going back and forth, the no holds barred, the chairs, the steel steps. Brock Lesnar got his couple of rape sessions of minutes in on Triple H. Triple H in return got some of his where he brought the sledgehammer, and then he tried to do he had his Kimura lock hold on him, and Brock Lesnar showing his strength of slamming him on the steel steps, and then for the match to just end in a pedigree, and then Triple H winning. That was, I would say, that's the second best match on the card, as it seems. And then after that was the main event, which was Rock versus Cena, and it was hard. It was the same thing. It was the same exact match from last year. Like, I had a strong deja vu moment watching that whole match. It was the same exact match, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And I know you're going to say, well, Dante, WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels won, and WrestleMania 26, Shawn Michaels 2, those were back-to-back the same people. But those were two entirely different matches. And you can say the same thing, oh, well, at WrestleMania 27, Triple H number 2, and at WrestleMania 28, Triple H versus Taker number 3, those were, again, two entirely different matches. You could put those matches side by side, and they're different. You put WrestleMania 28, Rock versus John Cena, and WrestleMania 29, Rock versus John Cena, and they're both the same match. The only thing that's different is the finish and how they hug it out. That's it. The only two differences. And people that said WrestleMania 27 was horrible or the worst, WrestleMania 27 had Randy Orton versus CM Punk, which was good. WrestleMania 27 had Triple H versus Undertaker number 2, which was good. WrestleMania 27 had a better main event, which was, oddly enough, The Miz and John Cena, even though it ended with The Rock interfering. But that main event was still better than it. Still had three memorable matches. And to say that they're probably saying, oh, because Snooki was in it and that tarnished it. No, I don't feel that Snooki being in the match, on the card, tarnished that whole pay-per-view. So that's why WrestleMania 27 had 3 good quality matches, where to WrestleMania 29 barely has 2. I'm just throwing Brock Lesnar and Triple H in there just because that was the second best match on the card. Really, there was only one match that stood out, and that was Undertaker versus CM Punk. Everything else was just doing it because it would seem to be the good thing to do, but none of them were WrestleMania matches. What else? And I remember I have the card. Oh, WrestleMania 27 had Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. Another fantastic match. And the fans were cheering Cody. Because remember when Cody did the stand-up on the top rope? He did the standing suplex, the stalling suplex from the second rope, and fans were chanting Cody. And he was the heel in that match. So WrestleMania 27 had 4 good matches. So I don't see how WrestleMania 27 was the worst WrestleMania. So yeah, the way the show that was it was shown. There were too many video packages. You didn't need, after every match, you didn't need to show a Rock versus Cena promo. We get it, WWE. We know that. We know that's the main event. We know that's the big deal. We know that's what the main event was. I feel that there was too many video packages, and there was no backstage. There was nothing backstage at all. There was no backstage interviews. There was no backstage. Anything. And I feel that the last 45 minutes. Well, I wouldn't say. Well, right after the Triple H and the Brock Lesnar match, I feel like it was rushed because the Sweet Tea and Brodus Clay and the Rhodes Scholars match got cut for no reason. I guess we're gonna find out why that match got cut. They could have cut out 2 video packages to have that match, but they didn't. They decided to cancel that match. And the main event, there was no special intro. Like, every WrestleMania that I could think of from the past 4 years, the main event, one of the person, either the challenger or the current champion, had a special intro. And there was no special intro for John Cena, and there was no special intro for The Rock. And the way that John Cena and The Rock came out, it looks like their entrance to the ring was totally rushed. I don't know if you people notice that, but I noticed that as well. But I don't know. That's my thoughts on WrestleMania 29 as a whole. Feel free to leave your opinion and thoughts in the comments below. And if you're into Gears of War Judgment, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Call of Duty, check out my gaming channel, and all the information to that will be in the description link below. But I'm Game Fiend of all games, and I'm signing out. Later, guys. Peace.